Welcome to the Seek Outside podcast.
And then you think that's bad? You see Ryan on the phone in the office. Seek Outside podcast.
Some people are just wired that way.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Seek Outside podcast. It's October 23rd. Got my partner in crime here, Owen, Tim. We're going to be bringing you some delicious, tasty audio waves to your ears talking about backpacks. We're going to do kind of a deep dive on backpack fit, getting the right fit here. We got Black Friday coming up. So that's kind of this series that we've been going through with the hot tent camping tips, the cold weather camping, and then we did the breakdown of all of our tents and the sizes and stove fitment and stuff like that. We're just trying to get you guys educated before the Black Friday. If you guys are looking at a hot tent, maybe you were cold, frosty this last trip that you went out on, you were wet, didn't sleep good, didn't bring a big enough sleeping bag.
Could have been that.
We're trying to learn you guys up on hot tents and what we offer.
Get you darn on educated. Get you educated.
Yeah. Do we want to announce when we're going to start the Black Friday sale?
Nah, we keep it a surprise, though.
Keep it a surprise. All right. Well,
We'll say, come November, things are going to be dropping. Hot deals.
Hot deals. No doubt. Yep. And I guess we'll keep it a secret for now, but that's why we kind of want to cover all this stuff.
Is there a second sale?
Maybe.
Is there a Black Friday sale? Maybe.
Dyneema?
Maybe.
You never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Got to stay tuned.
Gotta stay on your toes around here.
Yeah.
Because we make stuff up at the last minute.
We do. That's how we roll.
Yeah,
That's
keep everybody on their toes. Keep us on our toes.
Yeah. That's that's the great thing about being made, everything being made right downstairs there.
Yeah.
So we can just flip a switch
Whenever
like
we
the
want.
flat roll
Yeah.
XL. Just like, you know what? We want to drop this thing.
Yeah, we want to make this. This is cool.
Boom. Done. Yeah.
Less than a month long process.
Yeah.
Couple prototypes.
Couple prototypes.
Use them a couple good times. Be like, this is sick.
Yeah.
Boom.
Dunsky. On the market. And we have, it's also kind of cool because we get feedback from people. There are a few people in the Instagram comments asking about different sizes of that flat roll. We might have something like that coming.
Maybe.
So
maybe not.
Maybe not. That's how we do it, people. But anyway, we're going to be talking backpacks. I have a big gripe that is not related to anything that I want to cover, and I want to get some people's feedback on before we get into the backpack stuff. We might cover a little bit of Owen's last elk hunt here, and then
Elk walk.
Yep, taking the rifle for a walk.
Yep.
And then we're going to talk with Rusty from Baby Booners, which you guys definitely got to check out. It's a fun episode, interview. And he also, personally, my favorite part of the interview was him showing me his tricked out Red Ryder BB guns.
Those are sick.
Yeah, the Plink Pro.
Yeah.
Yep. So stay tuned for the end of the episode for the interview part to see those. But anyway, that's it. It's October. Let's freaking dive into it here.
Let's
All right, man. So I got to start this episode off by talking about something that's been building in America, a systemic issue that's kind of been, just breeding for the last 4 or 5 years.
We're all about the hot topics.
Yeah, hot topics here. No pun intended. But the problem that I'm talking about is hot tubs being out of commission in like hotels, Airbnbs that have them listed as an amenity.
It is tragic.
I feel like it's insane. Like used to, I don't know. I just remember going on road trips as a kid and, a hotel, like one of the big things that they'd have on that sign out front was like hot tub. It'd be listed.
Hot tub.
Pool, hot tub. It'd be like, oh, that's a spot that I'm going to go.
Yeah.
You go there and you can use the hot tub. It's open till 10 p.m. You can bop in and out of your hotel room as much as you want.
Sneak analogy and a beer in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when America was at its peak.
And now?
Ever since COVID, I think people used that as like obviously during COVID, there was social distancing. You didn't want your hot tub. Obviously, hot tubs just breed bacteria too. So it made sense. But I think that like hotel Airbnb people, they use that as an excuse to get rid of like the people that clean the hot tubs.
Yeah.
And they just never brought it back. Because I feel like every single place I've stayed in the last like 5 years, I mean, there have been hot tubs that have been in commission, but it's the vast majority
are out of commission.
Yeah, and it's like,
this is
sorry, we're cleaning this or whatever.
This is very true.
It's BS,
the pools, the hot tubs. Anybody else having similar issues out there? Because I feel like, the last 5 hotels I've gotten, 3 of, I always try and get one with a hot tub.
Yeah.
I don't have that luxury at my home.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, it's like closed down or drained or cleaning it. But it's like, how long have you been cleaning it?
Yeah.
Has it been being clean since 2021?
That's what I'm saying. I think they have been.
Yeah.
It's like these people fight or stop paying for the people that maintain the hot tub. And they're just like, you know what? That's something that we can prolong. Sorry, the hot tub's been out of order for a long time.
To be fair, I feel like general services since COVID have just been way worse.
That is true. Yeah.
I feel like servers used to have to try. Not anymore, dude.
Yeah.
They just tell you to go yourself and then just you're on your own.
Yeah, ask you for a 25% tip for bringing you a cup of coffee.
Oh, dude, yeah. It used to be tips started at 15%. Now they start at 20 or 25.
Yeah.
It's a crime.
Yeah.
It's a crime.
It is. Yeah, this weekend I went and stayed in a mountain town, and we got an Airbnb, and a big part of us booking that spot was it had a hot tub. And we knew that we were going to be this time of year, ski towns, they're pretty dead. So we figured we'd be the only crew there. We were, but the hot tub was broken. And the worst part is I could see the steam coming out of it. And I could see it was working, right?
Yeah.
But they had a lock on the gate, and then they also had a lock on the hot tub cover. And
you paid good money for that hot tub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I turned into a Karen. I hit up every single service that asked me for a review of the place. I was like, yeah, it was okay. But the hot tub wasn't working, and it was listed as an amenity.
I feel like you gotta, it's probably freezing at night there, and you just, nothing hits harder than being in a hot tub when it's freezing out there.
Oh, yeah.
It smacks.
Yeah.
When it's proper cold, but you're nice and cozy in there, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem. I think we need to address it.
I know.
Executive order, all hot tubs must be opened up by December 1st.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
We gotta, if anybody knows somebody in big hot tub world.
Yeah, big hot tub.
Big hot tubs, I think just let them know that they're going downhill. And if it keeps on this pace, people are going to forget about hot tubs. And then it's going to be a dead. But yeah, man, you're in a ski town, you want a hot tub. Yeah. It's they go hand in hand.
It's insane.
Anyway, while I was dealing with that, just crazy, life-altering event, what were you doing?
I was out suffering on the hill. We had a first rifle elk tag, and I talked a bunch of trash. That's why I didn't kill anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, first day, they're done.
Yeah.
Indeed, they were not done.
Yeah.
First day. So, ended up spending 4 days in the field. Didn't see one elk. Had some bugle around camp at 9 o'clock to almost first light. Then they were gone. They're wising up.
Yeah.
At least in the spot I go. They're pretty smart.
Yeah.
Usually I feel like first rifle's a bloodbath, first day, even second day, morning. It's just sounds like just a gun range.
Shots popping off everywhere.
Bam, bam, bam. Only heard 2 shots.
Yeah.
And then also, I think there was added pressure too, because they introduced a first rifle deer hunt in my unit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of guys up there chasing deer. The only thing that was a positive was I did lose 6 pounds. We weighed ourselves when we got back.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did a lot of hiking. A lot of packing in. We went in mega comfort because we were like, dude, we're going to smack them. It's cold enough. We're going to hang up in the tree. I brought my camp chair, Red Cliff Dyneema for 2 guys, glass door. You know, I wasn't like, I think my total pack weight with gun was 55 to 60 pounds. And we punched up 2,000 vert the first day. And I was like, I'm hurt, dude.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. But yeah, nothing. But last day we were there. It's a 5-day season. We just stayed for 4 days. First morning, we punched up because we ended up staying down in town. Punched up. Got up real early. Punched up 1,500 vert. Nothing. Elk desert. But some of the biggest mule deer I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course, I wouldn't have attacked.
Yeah.
I could have been showing you guys the most big, beautiful, I thought they were elk, you know?
Yeah.
You see them
On the
skyline, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, man, they're done. They're done. But
Yeah. Yeah.
no, it was tough. So now I got, bought a B tag.
Yeah. I think there's something too with elk hunting.
Put in a preference for Wyoming.
There you go. Yeah, you're like, I'm getting out of Colorado.
Yeah.
But I think there's something too, like, man, elk will humble you real quick. If you think that, if you're like, anytime I've been too cocky going into a hunt where it's like, oh yeah, I got this, there's a bunch of elk here. They're like, oh, do you?
We kept
do you now?
We kept making jokes. So we'd be super hopeful every day, sitting effectively what we were doing is we had camp. We had this zone of meadow because the rest of it's just down timber, pretty impossible to hunt with a big ass, 26-inch barrel gun. And you're shot maybe 20 yards at most, you know? So it's very unlikely you're going to get something in the timber there. So you kind of sit in these meadows up high, almost 11,000 foot. And yeah, I just thought, we went up on a scouting trip the week before, tons of sign, but it was a little bit old. And then kind of the same thing this time. Sign was 2 days old, but people were like, oh yeah, we were seeing bulls. But those guys didn't even get anything. It was opening morning, they had a clock. Just gone.
Yeah.
They stayed up there 2 days before opener. They're like, yeah, we're seeing elk everywhere. I was like, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
They can tell. It's I feel like it's once the human scent hits a certain threshold, they're like, all right, this is too much. This is more than usual.
It's not just backpackers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they hear that first shot and they're out. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I think it was maybe Steve Ranella where I heard this quote, but it's, you got to have the mind of a pessimist and the legs of an optimist. And I truly believe that.
What I was going with that was we just every time we were super optimistic, no anything, no action. The day that the night that they were all bugling and all around us was we were just down bad. You're like, dude, there's nothing, you know, this is just crap.
Yeah.
And then you hear, you know, and you're like,
yeah. That's how it happens, man. It's when you're least expecting it.
So by the last day, we were like, let's go up. No optimism. But there's still that little bit of optimism. So we were just saying the mountain only gives when you're truly broken down. So maybe if we had stayed for day 5,
you would have.
We would have been so broken. I've had some knee injuries from mountain biking and moto and stuff. So my knee was pretty cooked, you know? Doesn't help that with my backpack, I'm a 300-pound unit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, my knee was pretty toast. And I was like, if I do get something, packing it out will kill me.
Yeah.
It'll toast me, you know? Because we just put so much vert down. I love the area. It's so cool, but it is just, if you look on Onyx and you look at the trails or any of the slopes, it's all just red.
Yeah.
There's very little green or yellow. It's just red.
Yeah. Straight up.
And the elk are in there. But, man, you just get yourself in a basin that they aren't. Then you got to go punch all the way over. It's a lot of work. We probably put, I think, 10 or 11,000 vert in 4 days.
Yeah.
Plus being camped up there, we moshed around.
Yeah. It's key. It's just, I don't know. Elk are just elk. And hunting is just, it's difficult, man. Just because you hike somewhere doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be elk there or not people there. I feel like
they don't call it harvesting.
No.
Just like they don't call it fishing catching.
Like you can probably, like that's like my top strategy for hunting is I never like to pack into somewhere like the first day, just because I like to kind of know what's going on. Like you can always, if you hike into somewhere, you kind of, first off, you burn a lot of energy that first day, especially if it's high vert like that. But then you're more apt to stay there because you're like, well, we hiked up in here. Whereas like sometimes just doing a little exploration at first, and you know, it's different everywhere. Like sometimes that is like you've had a lot of success there doing exactly what you've done.
Well, in that unit too, it's really hard to glass.
Yeah.
Like you're looking into spots. Like if you are looking into spots, you're looking into spots where elk just aren't really going to be.
Yeah.
Like I've glassed that zone from, you know, the truck or, you know, down in the valley, and it's like, I've never seen elk there.
Yeah.
But once you're up in there, there's elk.
Yeah.
So, and there was elk. It's just, you know, hard to buy. I feel like first rifle opening day with decent weather, which is kind of what we had. They're just, you know, they can be anywhere. The feed's good. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
It was really just hoping like, you know, a little bit of snow, push them around.
Yeah.
But
Keep them moving. Yeah.
if it did freeze hard, like it got like probably 18 degrees, cold. Man.
Yeah. That's
And
chilly.
we were set up on a very aggressive slope because we went up into the spot and there's literally nowhere to camp, especially push like to pitch a red cliff. And so we had to like terraform beds, like make flat spots with our trowels, which took us like an hour each. And my buddy had the up, which ended up being above the stove. And we had to sleep like, we couldn't sleep like you would in the red cliff. We had to sleep like long ways. And then I had the below by the door, which was like 6 inches, like the top of my sleeping bag was like 6 inches below the stove. And so much more cold, you know, because the heat rises and the heat's not dropping down like with the stove. So it was a tough hunt, but we got second rifle deer coming up, and then I have a 4-season tag. So if I can't connect with anything, I'll just quit.
Nah. I mean,
I'll become a ATV hunter.
Yeah, we're forcing ourselves into killing a mule deer buck for you.
Yep.
Gotta happen. So
if it's, we talked about this before, but it's going to be like, we're going out for what, 5 days?
Yeah.
To a week, pretty much.
Depending on,
5 days to a week. It's a 9-day season, but I think we can smack them. Now my confidence, we're not going to see shit. But like day 5 or day 1, 5 point or better. Day 4, 4.3, 2, and then 1.
Yeah.
Just every day drops down to a spike.
Yeah. Although who knows, maybe we'll see some spikes on day 3 after it's when it's 17 degrees
cold,
every morning.
Yeah.
No.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
See, I need the meat.
Yeah.
The whole preface was that first season I was going to smack something down, have the food, and then we were going to trophy hunt it.
Yeah.
And now it's I need to eat.
Yeah. That's number one. Priority number one.
This 4th season tag could be very hit or miss. So
yeah. And what they say is that spikes are much better eating than the big old gnarly mule deer bucks. So
I would tend to agree. Depends. I feel like with deer in Colorado, it's like, are they sagebrush deer or are they high deer?
Yeah.
High deer, good. Sagebrush deer, nasty.
Nah, I don't know. I like deer, and especially the bite. Like I like the gristle on deer.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like you're getting all the extra good protein or whatever the heck is in the
probably all the extra CWD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the extra CWD. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a bummer, man. Hopefully, I think we're gonna try to do some filming this next week, so stay tuned. Hopefully, we'll have
There might be a cool film. We'll see.
Yep.
Speaking of packing in, let's talk about backpack.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Fit.
Yeah.
What you need. I would say, just starting off, like I took a Goshawk 4800 up, and I love that pack. It's excellent. I definitely feel like it's as dialed as I've ever had a backpack.
Mhm.
You know, like, so how do you get there?
Yeah.
How do you get there? How do you get to just being like, you put the pack on, it's money.
Yeah. Well, so
And
there's a couple things I think that I want to break down here. We can start with fit because that's going to be the most important thing. But then I also want to kind of talk about like some fabrics and some more
Packs.
like Seek Outside specific. Yeah.
Also some like selection, like how to select the pack.
Yeah.
That's going to work for you.
Mhm. Fabric type accessories. We'll kind of break down all that. But yeah, I mean, starting with fit, I mean, that's the most important thing about choosing a backpack. And
I would rather have a 3,000 cubic inch pack that fits me well than a 6,000 series and have to strap everything to the outside.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather have to, like, the fit is going to be most important before the bag, in my opinion.
Mhm.
You know, you could give me a bag that's made of cheesecloth, but if the frame works amazing,
Yeah.
I'm going to work.
It's going to be
with the frame.
comfortable.
Yeah.
And I just want to start off by saying, like, all packs are different. There's a lot of good packs out there, and the thing that's a little bit different about like backpacks,
It's not the old days anymore. Like, pretty much everybody makes a good pack, and it just comes down to like how they fit you. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like
and they
clothes.
all fit different.
They
Right?
all fit and feel different. It's like driving a truck, you know? Like
Mhm.
the F-150 isn't going to drive and feel the exact same as a Ram
Mhm.
or a Tundra,
Yeah.
you know? But they're all like good trucks these days.
Yeah. And if you have a bigger, like, wider shoulders, or
Yeah.
you have a skinnier shoulders, or you have hips that are a little bit lower, like you like to wear your pack, all those things, all those factors are gonna affect you. So now I would say that adjustability is huge, and that's kind of like with our pack. That's one of the big things that we strive for, is just adjustability because of that exact thing. So like,
It's pretty infinitely adjustable.
yeah. And the first thing that you want to look at when you're looking at a backpack is your torso length. And so that's basically the distance from like your C7 vertebrae, which is the one that sticks out when you bend over, to
Or if you work an office job, it just sticks out now.
yeah. True. Looking at your phone, it always sticks out.
Yeah.
And then you want to go down to the middle of like your iliac crest. And for context, right? So I have a 19-inch torso. I'm 6'2". You have like a 19 and a half.
19 and a half, 6'1".
Yeah.
So a little bit more torso,
A little bit longer torso.
a little less leg.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
people that are 5'7", and have a 19-inch torso. There's people that are 6'6" and have
18.
yeah. So it's very different. Like, you can't just base it on your height. And that right there is going to determine everything else, basically, from frame size on down. And I think one of the most common issues that people have with backpacks is hip belt slippage.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes from not having the proper torso length. And the reason is, so like, kind of, we'll try to insert some videos here to kind of show you guys. But basically, one of the things that happens, number one, if you're carrying 100 pounds, no pack is going to be like, 100 pounds is 100 pounds. It's gonna suck to some extent. You just want it to be the best as possible. And what happens with like hip belt slip, if your torso length is too long, when you hit those load lifters, which are the things that kind of the straps at the top there that shift the weight from being all on your shoulders to kind of dispersing it throughout the pack, if those if you have the harness sitting way up here, that harness is not doing anything.
Yeah.
And so it's putting all the weight on the hip belt, which in turn, if you don't, depending on how your body is, fits the pack, that just opens it up for the hip belt sliding down. So
Another thing about hip belt slip too, so I do agree with you on the harness. Like, the harness can be off of you and yet attached to you at the same time.
mm-hmm.
Versus like if it is too high, it's just completely away. Like you want to have the load lift here, but you have some contact front and back, and that's going to help keep the pack in kind of place. But the other thing is what you're wearing can just completely change how that hip belt's going to stick to you. Doesn't matter the material or anything. Like I find I wear a like sun shirt a lot, slippery material. You get hip belt slip all the time.
Yeah.
If you're wearing something like just like wool or cotton that's got a little bit more abrasion to it, and I don't recommend wearing cotton out in the woods, but
yeah,
something that's got a little bit more grip. Like if you're wearing a puffy, hip belt's gonna slip. Like that kind of stuff, like it's gonna slip no matter what the material is made out of. Example, like we were coming down from camp and I had like a pretty slippery wool shirt on, or like synthetic / wool or whatever it is, like sweat wicking shirt, but it's pretty slippery. And I just ended up putting a different shirt on.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it just slips, that is slippery against slippery, and it's just going to create slip there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, and speaking of hip belts, I mean, that's probably going to be the next most important thing aside from torso length when you're picking a pack is just making sure that you have that hip belt sized properly. And what I've found is I think there's like a lot of hip belts, they have a size range, right? They are not all like the biggest thing that you're looking for with the hip belt is that the padding is going to wrap around your hip bones at least, an inch or two.
And then that's it. Like you don't want to go too far. If you go too far, you can't get that leverage to like
not going to be able to tighten it all the way.
I would say at least on our packs, like being at the lower end, like I'd rather be at the higher end of a large than at the very, very low end of an XL.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's easier to get tight on your hips.
Yeah.
And I think that goes with most packs I've ever tried as well. Like I'd rather the belt just be a smidge smaller so I get a little bit more leverage on my hips, more grip. Versus if your belt is too big, you're going to really be struggling to kind of close that last little bit of gap. You're going to have slippage, so on and so forth.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's super important, like when you're choosing your pack, not to just put like 20 pounds in when you're testing that hip belt, because it's when you get up above 60, 70 pounds is when you're gonna be able to tell, because that's when you're really tightening that hip belt to try to get it to sit on your hips.
I'd say like if you were to buy a backpack from us, and we do offer that return period, or like the ability to switch out a hip belt for you. Just like mob down some stairs or something with like 40 pounds in. And I think at that point, you're going to be able to feel like if the hip belt's the right size for you.
Yeah.
I wish I had like an exact number of how much spacing you want in between your hip belt. But it's so different for everybody's body.
It does. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like some people have, if you have a little bit more of a beer belly or something like that, you're going to probably need a little bit bigger hip belt.
Yeah.
If you got like super skinny hips like me,
yeah.
I have like it's almost like I'm right in between like a large and a medium.
Yeah.
But the good thing.
But you wear a medium.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the good thing with us is like, I always wear the lumbar pad now, and that kind of, you can custom adjust your fit because there's multiple layers of foam in that lumbar pad to kind of like, if you are in between two sizes, you definitely want to get that lumbar pad. And,
it opens it up a little bit. Like
it does.
I wear an XL, but without the lumbar pad, it's too big. And then a large without the lumbar pad is like perfect. Large with the lumbar pad is a little small.
Yeah.
So like the XL with the lumbar pad's just perfect right now.
Yeah. I think the next most important thing when you're choosing a pack, we got kind of fit all that figured out. That's the most important. But
it would be like frame height, right?
Yeah. I think that kind of goes into fit, and that's torso length dependent.
And weight dependent, right? Like, so our frame is a 24-inch frame, which is going to fit pretty much down to like a 16-inch torso. So that's going to get, smaller people, young kids, like 10 to 12, depending on how big they are. Like, that's going to fit that like 16 to 18, but if you're carrying a lot of weight and you have an 18-inch torso, you might want to bump into a 2-inch. frame
Yeah.
extension. And a lot of what the frame extension is doing is it's the angle of your load lifter.
Mm-hmm.
So like we tend to go like you want your frame kind of in that like lower to middle of your ear.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is so you can actually get the weight off your back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can kind of, I'll just pick this up real quick here just so people kind of understand what we're talking about.
People who are watching.
Yeah, if you're watching. So this strap right here is the load lifter. And, you can kind of see our frame right here. This is the metal. You can imagine when you have a bunch of weight in here, you got the harness kind of being pulled this way, and then you crank down on this load lifter. See, it lifts this harness up, but then it also puts a little bit of tension on this frame here, and that's what kind of shifts that weight around to make it a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, it puts the weight closer to your back, number one.
Mm-hmm.
It lifts the harness off your shoulders, number two.
Mm-hmm.
And then number three, it's just sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you need to have load lift if you want to be comfortable with the pack. And that's why frame height, our frame is adjustable. It's 24. Then you can get a 2-inch extension. It's 26. That's what I run.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you run?
Yep.
26-inch frame. So that's going to be, like I could run a 24-inch frame if I'm just doing like backpacking stuff.
Yeah.
But I could also, if I wanted, like if I was carrying out 100 pounds, throw that 4-inch frame extension in, it's going to be a more comfortable pack for me. But I find that 2-inch is pretty money for me from 0 to 85.
Yeah.
And then after 85, I can deal with a little less load lift because I'm not trying to carry that out that often. And if you wanted to in the field, you could just field replace it. I've never done it.
Yeah.
I've just, I can deal with a little suffering.
Yeah. It's same with me. And I think what you really, the downside to having those longer frame extensions when you're just walking around is
your head mobility.
Yeah, especially like if you put your hat backwards.
Yeah.
Like I like when I'm hiking uphill to usually put my hat backwards so I can kind of see up better, at least when I'm hunting. Yeah. And if you have those super tall frame extensions, it's just going to be getting in the way.
It's gonna limit your head mobility. So there's a balance, right? Like in theory, yes, I could run a 28-inch frame, so that's our 4-inch extension. But I'm gonna hate it unless I'm carrying 100 pounds. So you're trying to find that middle ground of what a frame is gonna do for you, and that kind of goes across all brands, adjustable or not. Yeah. But yeah, I would say like at least the taller frames are definitely like for tall guys, like 21-inch plus 27.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I will say, just relating to that, like I see a bunch of videos online, like where guys are hunting or whatever, and you see their frame
like just is like down at their neck.
Yeah.
They must be so miserable.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if those load lifters are doing anything, man.
Yeah.
Like, and all packs kind of distribute weight a little, like every company kind of has their theory there. But I mean, I think some people, they just have much too short of frames, and I'm like, there's no way that's actually comfortable there.
It's kind of like, when you truly find a good pair of boots, and you're like, oh man, this is what I've been missing the whole time.
Yeah.
Versus like a backpack can carry. I mean, you can carry a backpack. Like doesn't matter. But once you have a dialed backpack, you're like, oh, it all connects. Like, why was I doing that to myself for years?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing just on like, I guess, moving away from fit a little bit, but moving into like how to select a backpack for you is going to be what the frame's rated to and kind of the frame like flexiness, stiffness. Generally a stiffer frame is more like suited for hunting. One of the things I like personally about our bag compared to other bags I've tried is we have the patented articulating revolution frame. And that allows you to have an incredibly stiff frame. It's made of aluminum, very strong. But you don't get that like backboardy feel where you have to have 60 pounds in the backpack for it to feel good. Yeah. And
it moves with you.
Or at least like, if you reach down here, the pack's going to move and articulate with your body versus like fighting.
Yeah.
Which I've tried a lot of backpacks. I really like that part.
I do too. Yeah. And it doesn't feel like over encumbering. It doesn't feel like it feels like it's just kind of moving with you.
The pack feels good at 0 pounds, and it feels good at 100.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's all you could ever ask for a hunting backpack.
Yeah.
Or a
for
backpacking
sure.
pack. Like, a lot of guys will look at our flight and they're like, well, like that's a great segue into the flight. Like, the flight does not have an incredibly stiff frame. It's, more oriented toward backpacking. Weight limits, 50 pounds. Like, I wouldn't want to carry much more than that. And honestly, if you're going to always be carrying 30 pounds in it, like, you might be better off in a Gila or a Divide that is that stiffer frame that still moves with you, but you have that, like, just solid load lift. Because the softer frames are the load lift will compromise, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's kind of some of the things with, like, carbon fiber. We've messed around with that. The way we set our packs up, it just, it's kind of tough to get the same just load hauling capability.
Yeah.
At least the way we have, messed with carbon fiber. Again, they're all
and it's
different.
And it's each brand is going to have a different theory.
Yeah.
Kind of like you said earlier about how a pack in a suspension is going to work.
Yeah.
And
ours is a U. There's a lot that are just like, like molded carbon fiber, or there's some that are X's.
Yeah.
That's how you get the frame stability.
Or just super, like, some brands don't have, like, if you're looking at backpacking stuff, they just have 2 vertical sticks that can kind of move in there. There's
plastic sheets.
Sheets. Like, our Silverton is a plastic sheet.
Yeah.
Granted, that's not really designed to be like a load hauler, but
no.
15, 20 pounds, like, the plastic sheet does something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all very dependent on the design of the pack and how that's going to fit you. Some guys love just, like, that backboardy feel, or maybe that's what they've been used to their whole life. It's kind of like for me, I'm not a stiff boot guy.
Yeah, same.
I don't love a stiff boot because I've hiked in trainers. I wear flip flops every day. Like, I'm very, like, open foot kind of guy. So, like, not stiff boots is pretty money for me. But there's some guys who are used to just the stiffest thing they can put their feet in, and it's probably what they like about backpacks too. Is just something that's just like boom.
Yeah,
it's just there. Not for me.
Yeah,
I prefer something that moves with you. I hate that feeling of backboarding.
Yeah. I would say the next thing that you want to decide on when choosing a pack is size.
Size is a hard one.
It is, and not all size ratings are the same, right? So some packs, like one 3,200 cubic inch pack is not necessarily going to be the same as another 3,200 cubic inch pack. Some of them, there'll be like 7 different zippered pockets in this one to comprise the 3,200, and then, like, on ours, most of our bags
just main backpack,
main capacity.
Yeah.
And kind of how that's different is, number one, I mean, if you like having everything organized, maybe you do want to go with something that has some zippered pockets in it, but they're typically going to be a little bit more limiting just on what you can put in there. Like,
generally going to be heavier, and then higher maintenance as well. Like, zippers are probably the heaviest failure point in all outdoor gear.
Yeah.
Zippers and dirt just do not mix. Go put your jacket in just a bunch of sand and zip it up a bunch of times. Probably going to break pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Like, it is, you want to look for, you should, number one, try and reach out to the brand and be like, how do you guys rate your bag? Is 3,200 cubic inches including the water bottle pockets?
Yeah.
Or is it just the main bag? Because that's a huge difference. Like, I've seen a ton of backpacks in my time in the outdoor industry, and the ratings are all over the place.
Yeah. And I think another key point there is you gotta, like, if you are just starting out backpacking or backpack hunting, you probably want to start with something a little bit bigger, because you're not gonna, like with the Flight, for example. So that's our smallest kind of ultralight bag.
Smallest, like, properly load hauling decently, like.
Yeah. And with that pack, you have to have, like, in order to fit like all the stuff that you want in there, you gotta, it's designed to be able to fit, like, your 30-degree bag, lighter
Or
sleeping
quilt.
pad.
Yeah, your loadout has to kind of match the
Yeah.
size you're going for.
If you're going for like a 4-day winter or like hunting trip, you're probably not going to be able to fit everything in there, because you got to think of like the extra gear. You have a 0-degree bag or a 5 or a 10-degree bag. You have, maybe your stove, all this extra stuff. So I always say to people, like, if you're not super dialed with how much space you fill in there, because like and there's two ways to look at it. Some people like getting the smaller bag so that they
A little
are
limited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like having a little extra space just so I can always bring like that extra water bottle or that extra thing of food or whatever. So
Yeah, I had a loadout for 4 days basically,
Mhm.
and again some luxuries, but my 4800 was to the brim.
Yeah.
And a lot of that changes just because like my 0-degree bag takes up a quarter of my backpack.
Yeah.
And if I put it outside, then it's like if I'm going through thorns, I don't want to be running my nice Western mountaineering bag outside of my bag. Like I can get away with like 40 liters in the summer.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
But
Much smaller.
Come winter or this time of the year, I need at least 80.
Yeah.
Like I could have happily gone with a 100-liter backpack.
Yeah.
And
the thing is, you don't want to have to strap stuff to the back, right? Like we have a lot of attachment accessories like talons. You get a load shelf to, hook your sleeping pad up.
Yeah.
But I would say in general, if you can, you want to put everything as close to your back as possible. Like if you have a sleeping pad down on, down underneath, that's not a big deal. If you're like bringing like a pack raft or something like that and you got to strap it to the back of the pack,
where that weight it has a leverage on you, what we call it is kind of like you either get pulled back like this, so you're turtling down,
yeah,
or there's like too much weight, so you got to like stand up. You need to pack it out pretty correctly, and a lot of that, like you're saying, comes down to like pack size.
Mm-hmm.
Having it closer to your back is going to be far more comfortable than having your backpack be 5 foot wide, long.
Yeah, exactly. So I think pack size, I generally tend to think like if you're doing any backpack hunting, 4,800 is kind of probably about the minimum that you'd want to go with. I mean, unless you're super dialed, you're only doing a night, quick overnight or something like that, you can maybe fit it in something smaller. But, I mean, it fills up a lot quicker than you think.
I feel like in like archery, I could get away with like a 3,500.
Yeah.
Like because it's warmer, bringing way less stuff, and I think I could totally do that. But like, come the time where I'm like, I need to be warm, it's you're bringing a stove. That adds space. Yeah. Even splitting it up with buddies, it's like quite a bit.
It is, yeah. The other thing is going to, some of the features that it has, you want to, that's all very specific, whether it's got, pockets, but probably the biggest one when you're looking at features in between packs, is going to be like how the frame, like the frame system. So like a lot of hunting backpack companies will make one pack that has like a load shelf in between and the frame can break away from the bag. We call it the breakaway. And then a lot of companies also make like a more lightweight version of that that's integrated where you're,
your frame and your bag are one piece.
Yeah, it's one piece. And, like a lot of them have some way to store meat on the inside, but generally like the breakaway, being able to keep a game bag with quarters or, boned out meat in between the frame and the bag is what I think a lot of people prefer, just because they don't have to bring, garbage bags to throw in their pack or something like that. But that's also very dependent. I mean, if you're trying to go as light as possible, the integrated, non-breakaway is going to be the best way to go, because you do end up saving a solid pound, at least on our system, between the two.
Pretty close. Yeah, you end up saving quite a bit of weight. And really, if you if you shave off a pound or 8 ounces off of a lot of your like systems, if you say like my cook system, all that stuff, I shave a couple ounces off of ounces. You end up like shaving 5-6 pounds.
Yeah.
Which is significant. That's your rifle, you know? Like if you're an ultralight rifle guy, like you can shave a rifle worth of stuff off your pack pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like I know I was, ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain.
Yeah.
It holds pretty true, right?
Does.
So there's a lot of things you can do to get lighter.
But that is something I always try to tell people is like, all right, if you're just looking to save weight on the pack, and that's the only thing, that pound, you're not going to feel it.
Yeah.
It's only when you start adding that stuff up, and then all of a sudden, you're at 5 pounds or 7 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever.
I mean, there's people who hunt with like a divide,
Mm-hmm.
or like that's a 3-pound backpack.
Yeah.
I think the Goshawk with the lid and all that stuff. What is it? 4 something?
Yeah, 4 pounds, 4 ounces.
4 pounds, 4 ounces. So 4.25 pounds. So that's a pound and a quarter.
Yeah.
And that's something you have to carry everywhere. So
yeah,
you can lose some weight for sure. The Uniweep is about 3 pounds, just a hair over with the lid. But yeah, it really just comes down to how do you want that system to work. Another thing is simplicity. Like the Goshawk, the Breakaway. Like I found a while back that I would never use the Breakaway feature, so I was like, why am I carrying an extra pound?
Yeah.
But I'm back on the Goshawk.
Yeah.
Trying to it's the pack I chose when we did the rebrand or remodel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what I'm stuck with. Stuck with, but
I mean I think there's more of a learning curve. I've always been a Breakaway guy.
Yeah.
And I think there's just a little bit more, you just have some more modularity. Like I love the modularity. And that's one thing, a lot of people look at modularity and they're like, oh, that's cool, but then they never use it, right?
Yeah.
And in that case, I mean, like we do have a lot of straps and loops on our bags for that modularity, especially the Breakaway. And if you don't take the time to kind of learn it, like shout out to my dad, love him. But, he still struggles with the Breakaway aspect.
Yeah.
And, but like I know it, so well. And so the thing I love about it is like our frame system, the Breakaway frame, you can take the bag off and you can replace it with literally any single one of our other bags. You can put them.
That's Breakaway.
Well, or, I mean, you can even hook up a flight to the back if you want. You just take the frame out and then hook it up with gatekeepers. Yeah. But you have like, it just allows you like so much, you can go from that and then you can take the Goshawk bag off and throw on, the Mesa hip pack and a Talon to the back so that you have a little day pack option.
Yeah, just a day rig, or you can do Silverton. There's a ton of, you can do kind of a similar thing with the integrateds as well. Yeah. You just pop the frame out and then pop it into another bag. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit more detailed. Yeah. But like if you wanted to have a Gila and then a 6300, you can have those 2 packs with your one frame. Yeah. And then with the Breakaway, like I will say, the modularity is sweet. I haven't personally used it a ton, but like the duck bag, throwing the Silverton on for all that stuff. I think another thing when you're talking about pack size is how well does it compress, right? Mm-hmm. The Goshawk 48, or really just both the Goshawks, it's so easy to just turn them into a day pack mode. Like you just like, what I do is I connect those middle gatekeepers, and then you just have those 2 outside pockets in your Talon. Yeah. That's pretty dang good. Those stretch pockets you can stuff a ton of stuff in or stuff nothing into. So that's a lot of people will say, oh, I don't want to get a 6300 because I'm only going to use it for like the fall or winter stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Well, really, that 6300, once you roll it down, you can roll it down well below the frame. Yeah. Now it's 3000 series. Yeah. Like I get that you're carrying a little bit more fabric, but
it's 2 ounces is the difference between the 4800 and the
I think
63.
With like roll bag style bags like ours, and with a good compression system like we have, like it's pretty easy to get, like you can just buy the biggest backpack. I'm going to carry a few more ounces and just run it like that. Yep. if you're going to always be consistently like using 80 liters plus or 70 liters plus. If you're going to be one of those guys that's like, yeah, I'm never going to use more than 80, don't get the 6300.
If you're just day hunting, I mean, honestly, the Silverton and the Revo frame is an combo. I've used that multiple times.
Even the Merlin and the top lid or hit back on there, like,
yep. I mean, that's
pretty money.
Yeah, you're looking at 1,800 cubic inches right there.
You can even, if you're trying to ball on a budget, just get a Merlin and a Revo frame, and then get just a dry bag.
Yeah,
like a small dry bag. Put it behind the Merlin.
Yeah, that was one of the early things with our packs. A lot of people would do that because we had the removable. Like there's a lot of packs out there where the bag, they have the breakaway option, but the bag's kind of like sewn in
at the bottom.
Our
bags completely come off.
Yeah, so you can just rip that frame off and use it as a load hauler if you want. But that was one of the early things. I feel like I see a lot of pictures from early on in our pack days of people just throwing a dry bag on the back there. That way, you can
what I used to do when I was younger and ran the breakaway was I just took the main bag up, dropped it at camp, and then I just had my day hunting set up.
Yep.
Then that was easy. But now, like with the way the Goshawk has evolved, I think I can just unload the pack, leave it in there. You can have stuff at the bottom that you just access with that zipper at the bottom. Then you have your 2 side pockets and the Talon. I usually I took my lid off, like you just don't need to really. It's pretty easy to have one pack.
Yeah.
Get away with it. Like I think the Goshawk handles everything. I've backpacked with it. It's still lightweight. So
and that's the other thing coming, like when you're talking about weight with packs, I mean, like even our heaviest packs are still lighter than, I mean, you go to REI or something like that. Even their ultralight packs are going to be pretty similar to
the the bigger Ospreys and stuff.
Yeah. So, in features, it's very. I mean, I would say the other big thing that I want to touch on is just, and this is kind of going to shout us out, but I really think our fabrics are the best of the best out there. That's obviously bias coming from us, but there's a couple real life use case scenarios that I kind of want to point out that I would say are exemplary to that back that statement up. Number one, so we have multiple different fabrics that you can get our packs in. Number one is going to be, we use ultra fabrics through and through, but the top notch stuff is going to be the ultra weave. So that's going to be the ultra 400 or the ultra 200, the black like the charcoal color, and then the dark gray color. The other fabric that we use is ultra grid. Still a great fabric, but it's closer to like, really the main reason we got it was because it is ultra. It's very abrasion resistant, but it also has multiple color options, and for some people, that's a big a deal breaker there. If I had I will never, I would always choose ultra weave over ultra grid no matter what, because I've just had such amazing experiences with it.
I mean, you're 63. What you ran for
5 years. I still run it all the time.
Yeah, and it's money. And that was before it was even 400X. It was just 400.
Yeah, and so I've had that pack for 5 years. I don't know how many trips I've gone on with it, how many animals packed out, how many backpacking trips I've taken it out, duck hunting and everything in between, turkey hunting, everything.
Yep.
And so the fabric itself, because it's about 4 times more abrasion resistant than like your standard run-of-the-mill backpack material, not a single hole in there.
Yeah. And you got to try to put a hole through it.
Yeah. I mean, we did a video last spring where we literally drag it behind a truck, and it was still perfectly waterproof afterwards. So, and that's the other one, is the waterproofing. And here in Colorado, you can 90% of the time get away with something that's not fully waterproof like ultra weave. But a couple real life scenarios. Number one, when you're packing stuff out, blood especially when you have a quarter in between there. If you don't have a waterproof fabric like this, that blood is going to soak both into the fabric of the pack and then also can soak through the fabric of the pack and get stuff, bloody inside, which, I'm not super concerned with it, but it's just more cleanup that you have to do when you get home. The Ultra Weave, you don't have to worry about that. Literally just take it home, take it off the pack frame, hose it down, you're good to go. And then the other one is like, you set your pack down in a spot that you don't realize. Maybe you leave camp for a little bit and rainstorm comes in, your pack's sitting in a puddle. Well, Ultra Weave, you don't have to worry about that. I have had a couple situations with like Ultra Grid and some of the other non-fully waterproof fabrics where over time it does wet out and some of your stuff can get damp in there. So that's why I just, I'm blown away by it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Ultra Weaves are excellent fabrics. I don't mind the Grid at all. Like, I quite enjoy it, actually. I like the color options. And for 95% of people, like, Grid is fine.
Exactly.
Like, it is more than enough fabric. It's kind of like the Weave is the F-150 Platinum, It's a sweet fabric. The Grid is closer to more like traditional nylon-styled pack fabrics. It is plenty waterproof for Colorado conditions, in my experience. Like, if I was going up to even, I used a very similar fabric called Spectra in Alaska, where it rained on us, misted on us for like 5 days. Didn't have any water penetration. Yeah, it is. The rating is like 1,500 millimeter hydrostatic head, which is what some of your cheaper tents are going to be, anyways. What that does come down to is like kind of what Ryan said is when there's pressure, like that's how they're 1,500 millimeter hydrostatic head. That's pressure. The Weave is 200 psi, pounds per square inch. Before something can penetrate that membrane.
Which is like just real quick, that's like the same rating that like the fishermen up in Alaska, their Grundin suits. Yeah, it's the same waterproof rating as that.
Yeah, it's very, very waterproof. That's like don't quote me, but like pretty similar to like pressure washer.
Yeah. Like, we literally pressure washed one of our backpacks. No water got in there.
Yeah. And then the Grid, right? That's still a fairly excellent waterproof rating. Light downpour, or just rain, normal rain. If you were to like put your knee on the pack on wet ground, you're applying enough pressure in between the pack and the ground to allow water to penetrate that membrane. So the Grid is still excellent. It's very abrasion resistant. Yeah. It's got some really cool colors. I personally like the coyote. Also like the Cathrock, the avocado. They're all cool colors. Yeah. Like the Weaves are. I like the gray. The Ultra 200X. But yeah, Grid is still an excellent option. But if you're going for the supercar, the nicest thing that's gonna if you're punching through oak brush all day, go Grid or no, go Weave. Yeah. Because the Grid has less of abrasion resistant. It is still an excellent fabric in comparison to most pack fabrics out there, the Ultra Grid. Yeah. But if you really want to get into the down gritty and you want to spend the negatives between the two, like the negative with going Ultra Weave, the only negative you're going to get into is it's a little bit louder and it's substantially more expensive because it costs us substantially a lot more to make a pack with.
Yeah, about twice as much.
Yeah, almost 3 times. Yeah. Because the Grid is quite a bit cheaper. Not saying that it's a cheap fabric. Quite a bit less expensive. Yeah. Comparatively to the Weave, but they're both excellent. And
the Ultra Grid, it's still twice as abrasion resistant as like 500 denier Cordura, which is what the military uses for all their backpacks. So it's like Cordura's already got to be super durable. Yeah. Ultra Grid is more. Yeah. And coyote is a good color, right?
It's a cool color.
I will say, we get a lot of questions about the color, and I'm gonna Big Green, like the Big Green Corporation and Big Brown.
Big Brown, Big Green, big dye colors.
Yeah, Big Color. Yeah, is putting out some propaganda about how you need coyote and brown. Like the funny thing, like I get it. Maybe you've had a situation where like backpack or some color. I don't know. I don't think anybody's really had a situation in which color has spooked an elk off or something like that, because it's just, now if you want to talk about like birds, maybe they can see color better, but elk and deer, like, you're gonna, first off, your pack is hopefully on your back unless you're backpedaling to them.
Yeah.
And second off, maybe it's on the ground. But third off, like, if you go in the woods and you look at the colors in there, like, just look at how much dark, like gray, black stuff that you see, the shadows. Usually you're hiding behind a tree, which is like all black.
Look at a camo pattern.
Yeah.
There's so much black and gray and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Tan is not too far off from gray. I mean, I totally get, like, wanting something that's going to blend in a little bit more, but I think that a lot of people have this misconception that those darker colors or those lighter colors aren't also a part of the forest.
Yeah.
Of which they totally are.
Yeah.
It's just maybe not as commonly used on like a hunting pack, and that's just big marketing, you know?
And I've always been against like fully camo bows and fully camo shotguns and stuff like that. I don't want this expensive thing. I don't want me to put it somewhere where, like, especially in a haze of, like, if you got action going on, you put it down and you forget where it's at. Like, I want that thing to be able to stand out, you know? So
Ryan can't see it. Apparently.
Well,
but
you know, the camo, some of those, they blend in really well.
For me, the reason I don't want camo is so I can use stuff for other stuff without looking like a dweeb.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to wear, I mean, not saying people look like a dweeb, but I don't want to wear my camo out to, like, I want my First Light hunting jacket to be just as nice to, like, walk downtown, take off when I go into a restaurant as it is to hunt with. So, like, those subtle, like, the grays, the blacks, like that kind of stuff, where you can, even the coyote, like, where you can just kind of blend into the normal world is nice.
Yeah.
I'm not
don't have to worry about
not the biggest camo guy on earth.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's super important for hunting certain things, but I think, like, big game, now I wear all solids and I just have not noticed any difference.
Yep.
I think smell is bigger, which, another reason to go with Ultra. You're not Ultra Weave. You're not going to have to worry about, like, all these scents soaking into the fabric and screwing you over. So
it's still going to soak into the Cordura on the backpack.
True.
Right.
But, you know, you have less surface
area. That's Ryan's market.
Yeah.
No stink.
I'm just, I'm convinced of Ultra there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, shoot, man, that's
pretty much it, dude.
Yeah, that covers, like, you have accessories, right? Like,
it's just so, I feel like, individual. You know, like, accessories just get into, like, your personal needs, and that's
hip belt pockets, stuff like that.
Water bottle pockets, like, all that kind of stuff. That's just your preference and your needs.
But those, I think we covered all the main stuff when you're looking for, like, a backpack hunting pack.
The backpack buyer's guide.
Yeah. Any of that stuff, those are kind of the main things. And the big thing is trying that sucker on. And the other thing is, like, getting it dialed fit-wise before you make a judgment on it. Because if you just take that thing out of the box and put 100 pounds on with any pack, you know, I guess there are some one-size-fits-all packs which they're just not going to do well at heavy weights.
Yeah.
But if you buy a pack that's adjustable, you put it on out of the box and it doesn't exactly fit you like you want, don't make a judgment. Dive into it. Adjust the torso length, adjust the hip belt, play with everything, and then make your decision, because that's the most important thing.
Let's see, how much would you, like, what would you rate it on the importance? Like, having a solid backpack, like, making sure your backpack's dialed. Like, would you rather have a crappy backpack or a crappy tent? Crappy backpack or crappy sleeping bag? Crappy, you know, like, where's the line?
That's a good question.
Because I feel like with boots, I'm just learning. I'm just becoming a boot guy. But, like, finally found a pair of boots that I think is pretty decent. You know, I think they could be better, but I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is nice. This is really nice. This is something I haven't really ever hunted with, like, a nice boot.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, stoked about it.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing. I think if you're hunting, I mean, those are the three main things, though. It's kind of tough to compare like tent, sleeping bag, and backpack because those are all like super important. Like I would say they're all kind of right up there top. Now, if you're talking about like a backpack versus boots, I would say that's a tough one too because it's like if you have a bad pair of boots and a bad backpack, you're probably not gonna go hunt again.
I think you'd hate the boots more.
You probably
if your boots were
would.
just absolutely wrecking your feet, I think you'd hate the boots more than you'd hate the backpack.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like your torso and your back is a more manageable area for pain.
Yeah,
feet pain, terrible.
And I think the almost the more important one is like how it feels carrying around with your standard walk around weight, because packing something out, it's like there's two things there. Number one, you're jazzed because you're packing something out, so you can like kind of look past
some pain spots.
Yeah, if you're like carrying 100 pounds, it's gonna suck either way. But you're like, hell yeah, I got an elk down or whatever. But if you're hiking around for 7 days with a pack that's uncomfortable at 20 pounds or 30 pounds or whatever you're walking around with, that's going to be such a big bummer. But yeah, I think you would notice the boots more. Yeah. I would say having a good fitting backpack is more important than clothing, more important than having like, if your pants are too big or something like that, you can make do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because it's all freaking important.
It is. Yeah.
And once you like,
I was just thinking that this week. Like I was like, man, what's my biggest pain point right now?
Yeah.
And it was probably just my layering system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's probably just that I got sweaty. But
yeah,
like my pack was dialed, tent was dialed, sleeping system was dialed. I mean, heavy but dialed. It's like I don't know what I could really like. What do I have to complain about properly?
Yeah. I'm kind of at that point now too. Like
I can complain. Like I would love to try a different pair of boots. I'd love to try some Kennetrack.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have $500 to burn.
Yeah.
For a pair of boots right now.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm kind of stuck with the ones I bought for the next season or two.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like my pack is dialed. I genuinely like. We've tried other packs in the shop. We've tried stuff we've made as prototypes as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, let's compare this to what we have now. And like you pick it up and you're like, it's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw it on and our pack, like I was carrying up a ton of weight to camp. I was like, man, this is a pain in the butt to get on my back.
Yeah.
Once it was on there, I was like, 30 pounds, 40 pounds.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that much.
Yeah.
That's the kind of pack you should be looking for.
Yeah.
And if it's ours that works for you like that, excellent. If it's somebody else's, also excellent.
Yeah.
You just want to find that pack where you're like, this isn't 60.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's the weight you want to be.
It is funny just the weight with packs. We go to and maybe we've talked about this on the podcast before, but we go to trade shows and one of our competitions that we've done to like try to get do a giveaway or whatever is guess the pack weight. And it's so funny with our packs, like people that would just straight up pick them up and feel them would always be like, oh man, is this 100 pounds or whatever? And then but the people that would put it on their back would always be lower than because I think we had like 54 pounds in that one time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the people that would pick it up would always say, oh, like it would be hilarious. The people that would be like, oh, is this 120? It's 54 pounds in there. But then when people would put it on their back, they would have a much lower
weight perception.
guess.
I think weight perception is hilarious.
It is.
Like, because I picked up my pack and I was like, 35 before rifle.
Mm.
Put it on the scale. I was like,
yeah,
43 before rifle and water.
Yeah.
Tears.
Yeah.
Well, I think you guys probably want to listen to somebody else now.
Probably. Yeah. So that's it. If you guys have questions on packs, drop them below. Give us a shout.
Give us a call. Do whatever you want. Man.
Yep. Stay tuned for that B Friday. And stay tuned for the interview. We got Rusty.
You know what you could do real quick?
What?
Is you could link some of the cool backpack videos, like how to carry heavy loads and stuff.
We do have some good ones, yeah. We can
With
throw
some
those in.
really good informational, again, bipartisan. I don't know what you
Non-partisan.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. Non-biased. Just like
Non-biased. There we go.
just full-blown, informational videos. So
Yeah.
we'll link those up above.
Yeah, and stay tuned for the interview. Anybody that likes cool BB guns and just cool stuff, cool items, stay tuned. It's a good podcast. So here's Rusty.
Hey.
Perfect. Well, everybody, have an awesome podcast today coming for you. On the podcast, we have Rusty Smith, and are you the founder, owner? What's your title there, baby?
Well, there's a couple of us actually. So you're referring to Baby Booners, I believe.
Yep.
The business we run. My partner Johnny Dietrich is really the guy behind all of it initially, and we just kind of partnered up and decided to get this ball rolling.
Nice. Yeah, so Rusty Smith of Baby Booners. That's with an N, not an M.
That's
Big
right.
difference there. But really cool product that you guys make, and I'm excited to also talk a little bit later about the new business that you just launched.
Yeah.
But I saw you guys, I don't know, I think maybe at Western Hunt a couple years ago, and there's a 10 by 10 booth, but there were like 60 people swarmed around you guys. I was like, oh, what is this? And basically, I'll let you take it from here, but 3D printed trophy models. I feel like nowadays, driving around, seeing people's trucks, they all have antlers, the little Baby Booner antlers dangling from their rear view. So you guys are crushing it, but I'll let you take it from there, kind of give the backstory on the company there.
Yeah, just kind of, honestly, it kind of happened by accident. My business partner, I mentioned Johnny, he's one of these just brilliant guys that's an engineer that just doesn't have the piece of paper that says he has an engineering degree. I feel like we probably all know somebody like that. He's phenomenal. Like, you give him a problem and he figures it out. He's not going to sleep till he solves it. And he actually worked in some machine shops and did a bunch of design work for a mutual friend. It's actually my wife's cousin and a good friend to Johnny's. His name's Nick, and he's in a wheelchair. And we help Nick go hunt. And so Johnny designs all the devices that will allow him to hook in a rifle, a crossbow, or anything he needs for him to be able to hunt out of his wheelchair. And wow. Johnny loves that stuff. He loves designing. And so he actually picked up an extremely high-end scanner that's used a lot for like reverse engineering products, product development. And he actually had scanned another mutual friend's, their family, like a grandpa had killed this monster buck, and he'd scanned it in a sheep head. And he just made some little 3D prints of them, and he brought them over to my house. I was like, hey, check these out. These are kind of cool. I just kind of scanned this stuff with these guys. And I'm like, well, dude, let's scan some stuff. So we first started there by scanning a buck in my house, one of the deer, like a full shoulder mount that was in my house, and we printed it up. And, it's just plain white plastic, cleaned it up. And you're just like, this is kind of cool. It's your buck. And
Yeah.
It's not a representation of my buck. It is my buck.
Yeah.
Exact dimensions, just smaller. And we played around with that a little bit, and we're like, man, we showed a few people, and they were like, dude, I want something. We're like, well, we need to paint these up. So I actually sent some pictures and called my buddy Trent, our friend Trent Purser. He's an artist. And that summer I just got done kind of helping him do the easy parts of a mural that he was painting in town. And I was like, Trent's an artist. He can paint these up. Said, hey, would you paint some of these for us? And he was like, yeah, you come to my house and scan one of my deer for me. I'll paint that for you. And that's how we got started. We took some pictures of some of the stuff we did. Thought, we'll just do this as a side hustle, people local. And threw it on social media, and like 3 days later, I had like 1,500 direct messages
That's awesome.
on social saying, "Hey, I want one of these. How do I do it?" And that's literally how this started.
Hey, happy accident. Love it. I
Yeah.
feel like it's if you come from working in a machine shop, I feel like those are always the guys that are inventing the coolest stuff just because it's
Ah,
I'm sure you have a little bit of spare time to mess around with stuff. And I mean, having a scanner like that just opens up a world of possibilities, especially now with 3D printing. That's like, I mean, possibilities are endless.
yeah.
So when was that? When did you guys get that going?
Oh, we've it's not quite been 2 years. It'll be 2 years around the beginning of December.
Okay.
Um, and so we've been rolling since then. Started, kind of slow. Nobody knew who we were. It was just from being seen on socials. I have a large enough following on my personal social. It kind of spread through a reach there, and so we finally started up some Baby Booners social media and got that rolling, and it's scattered all over. We've gone and hit expos, shows. We went to a couple total archery challenges back in Pennsylvania and Michigan this summer, so we
Yeah.
could get back east. That was a whole lot of fun. There's some awesome people back there, um, and so that's kind of how it's been rolling, going around and hitting shows, and then we get lists. We
Mhm.
got people from all over that want them. In fact, right now with hunting seasons going on, I get messages every day. Hey, I killed this buck. I killed this bull. I want to get one done. And we keep lists of where people are at, and then we just plan a trip once we have enough people on that list. Sometimes it's a day trip. Sometimes it's a 2 or 3 day trip, depending
Mhm.
how far we're traveling. And we cruise around and we scan them. Now that's what's a little different with us. We physically scan the trophy.
Mhm.
It's not, hey, let's take pictures and video and use photogrammetry and AI to just make a representation. And that's what's a little different of ours. When we scan it, it is, as I mentioned earlier, exactly your animal. Like we have animals we've done for people. In fact, I'll show you this. I got this one sitting here. This is one we just did for a guy here recently, and it's probably hard to see on here, but there's a bullet hole through that antler.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they shot it, hit it through the antler. Our scanning capabilities are so good, it actually will pick up all the detail. So that bullet hole is literally in our model.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of cool about scanning. That's why we come do it in person. But it's fun. Instead of just looking like a toy, like even in this buck, if you can tell, like you can see the veins and the muscle lines and everything, even in the form of the animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, especially with like mule deer, because so many of them, they have that weird antler growth down at the bottom. Like I have one that it's almost like it's like a cactus down there. Like
Yeah,
there's so much crap coming off of it. And I can imagine if we were to just take a picture and send it to somebody, have AI, that's the stuff that gets lost first. You might get the
it
basic
is.
frame, but you're not getting the actual animal, which is cool.
And there's some other cool things about it, and there's a handful of our customers that just love this. But when we scan, we can also measure volume of antler.
Mm,
So if people are familiar, it's the same as what water displacement scoring would be,
okay.
like they do in Europe. So instead of just a Boone and Crockett score, and you get these four mass measurements, an invisible inside spread. It is saying how many cubic inches of bone did this buck or this bull grow,
Yeah.
and that's been really fun because in the deer world there are monsters that do not get the credit they deserve through a Boone and Crockett or Pope and Young score. They just don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that especially, yeah, like you're talking about with mule deer. Those are always the coolest ones, like the 3x3s that are just like, you know, just got all the mass in the world. Or
Yeah,
I love the ones like that one with the crazy trash at the bottom, and
yeah.
that's the stuff that gets lost there. So can you also do like Boone and Crockett scores, uh, based on? I mean, I don't know why you would,
We
but
We could, but we don't, because you could do it. The beauty of the scan is, since it is exact, you could go in and literally measure everything just like you would with the tape on the actual animal. You'd just be doing it on the scan itself, running a line and doing it. But the volume one is the tricky one. And let me give you an example. Like this buck right here in our logo.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows him. He's the king. He was a winter range buck out on the Wyoming winter range. Never died from a hunter. Died himself of natural causes. Give an example. He's roughly about a 247-inch Boone and Crockett buck.
Okay.
Just a slob. Big, heavy bugger. And then there's a famous buck, if people remember him. I want to say it was around 2014 or 13, somewhere in there. He died, called the Brett Ross buck, or they named him Trashy.
Okay.
And people remember him because there's a famous picture of Brett with his Levi's and his flannel shirt on with this buck. He had just gotten back from serving in the military overseas, wanted to go fill the freezer. I believe they were going to hunt elk, and his buddy talked him into a deer tag. 304-inch gross mule deer.
Wow.
Okay. So I tell you that, 247, 304. So according to Boone and Crockett, Trashy is over 50 inches bigger than this buck. When we scanned and measured the volume of antler on him, Trashy is 185 cubic inches of bone. I mean, there's no invisible inside spread or nothing. It's just, that's how much bone he grew, which is awesome.
Yeah.
He's 216 and 3/4 cubic inches.
Wow.
Even though Boone and Crockett says he's over 50 inches smaller, he dwarfs him in the amount of antler that he grew.
Yeah, I mean that's wild. That shows just how imperfect that the Boone and Crockett score is. Just because I mean a lot of it's based on symmetry and kind of some of those weird measurements, like going down to the middle of the fork and stuff like that. But I mean, I think the key here is what's amazing about it is that people get to carry that specific trophy with them everywhere. I mean, I'm sure you guys get I haven't killed anything worth probably once in a lifetime elk or deer yet, but when I do, that's the first place I'm going. I'm sure you have lots of guys that they have that once in a lifetime mule deer hunt. You're the first people that they call because having the individual characteristics on each thing and I'm sure just the experience of going and getting it measured, and these guys get to tell you their stories and stuff like that. It just makes it like such a special thing. And you guys do I've seen some of your other like mounts and kind of the displays that come with them. And I feel like you guys do a really good job of not just, because you could easily get into that territory of it just being a toy and looking like something cheap off the shelves, but they look literally like an actual mount. It's just sized down like something that you can just, throw it in the office if you don't have room for it. So it's just cool that, no matter what the score is, people get to carry the memory with them literally anywhere they want to go.
And that's one of the main reasons we do it. We got a good friend, Wes MacArthur. If anybody knows Wes on social media, he's Rise and Shed. He put it really good one day when we were at an event with him. He's like, these are miniature memories. And we're like, yeah, that's exactly what they are, is miniature memories. We will have tons of folks that maybe they do draw that special once in a lifetime tag. Maybe it's a general tag, and it was the last hunt they got to go on with a family member, before they passed, or special because of who they went with. We'll have those guys have us make multiple, and they'll give them to family and friends. Or we got a lot of folks that grandpa killed a buck in the 50s, that's just a slob, and there's only one buck.
Yeah.
But all the family loves it. So we've had a lot of families have us scan animals like that and make miniatures. So kids, grandkids, relatives can have a little piece of grandpa's buck.
Yeah.
That's with them. And you hit it on the head. It's literally about the memories. We've scanned lots of little deer that they have meaning to somebody. And we're like, we don't care if your deer's little or big. If you have a special memory with it, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing people don't understand about like the trophy aspect, right? Like a shoulder mount. If you're outside the hunting world, or you're somebody that's against hunting, and you see the trophy, and you're like, oh, why would you display it in your house, or like why would you want the antlers? It should all be about the meat, but it's just something that people can't understand, because every time you look at that thing, you think of like the specific draw that you were in, the little finger that, the specific time of day that it happened, and carrying that thing out. Maybe it's a brutal pack out. So it's not just about having that thing in there, but it's so much of it. And especially this, like if you can carry that animal around with you in your truck, or have it at the office as well as at home, I mean, you're honoring that animal
Yeah.
to the max. I mean, that's what you're trying to do. Like you're not. It's no light thing to take an animal's life, especially an amazing buck like the king of the mountain. You're taking that thing from his home, but all you can do is honor him, eat the meat, and show everybody that trophy, because that's how magnificent those animals are. So
Yeah.
that's the hard thing to pass along when you're like, oh, I basically Euro mount almost everything. I love Euro mounts, um, and it gets to a point where you're trying to find wall space, and
Yeah.
people are like, oh, just throw it outside or whatever. It's like, no, I want to have it here so that I can look at it. It's funny, but
That's interesting. You bring that up. We've had a lot of people. For example, I Euro a lot of my stuff too, and a lot of it is a space thing. There's certain animals I've debated, like doing a shoulder mount or whatever, but I'm like, man, I don't have space. Well, we can scan your Euro. Say we scan your Euro buck. You kind of wish you had a mount. You don't have the space. We got shoulders you can pick from, and we can throw your antlers on a shoulder, and now you have a miniature shoulder mount of him at your house. Or say somebody has a shoulder mount and they want a miniature Euro, we can still scan the antlers and in the system put it on a skull, and now you have the miniature Euro of it as well.
yeah,
And then the third option is we can take one of those antlers off and we turn it into what we call danglers, rear view mirror hangers.
mm-hmm.
So now you're looking at your antler every day hanging from the truck or car mirror, instead of just some stock one you bought at Cabela's,
Yeah.
somewhere.
That swappability is really cool, because like hold that deer up just so people, if you're
The shoulder mount one.
yep. So if you were to, like, shoulder mounts are expensive, right? Especially a display like that where you got the base there, and the vegetation. I mean, that's going to run you. That's not cheap.
No.
You can do a Euro mount for free, basically, if you have the stuff, and then you go to you guys, and if you want that shoulder mount, I mean, how much does something like that cost?
So if we do a shoulder for somebody, the first one is $260. If they want more than one, or like say they want a Euro also, the Euro is now just $79. That initial one's covering the cost of the scanning, any editing or tooling we need to do. Like if they wanted just a Euro set up on a stand, it's $179 for the first one, $79 for each additional. If you want additional shoulders, they drop down to $199 after the first. You want a dangler off of it, we've already scanned it to make something else, $49.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a lot more cost effective than which the full size shoulder mount. I mean, they're awesome, but you spend the a little bit less money, and you can take that thing anywhere with you. And then if you end up having to move into an apartment or something like that, you don't have to worry about finding a spot to store that thing.
We have a lot of wives go, hey, I really like this. This doesn't take up as much space.
Yeah, I can take back that guest room now.
That's right.
Yeah. So I guess explain kind of like if somebody wants to get into it, if somebody wants to schedule a scanning, what's the process, like lead time? I know you guys go to cities, kind of do like tours. Is there a time of year that you guys do that more so? I'm sure you guys are all busy off hunting right now.
Yeah, lots of that lately. There's a couple of ways. One, first, just get a hold of us. Some people do it through the website. to be honest, the easiest way is through social media. But we monitor both the website requests we get and also the social media ones. And I have spreadsheets of lists. And so I'll give you an example. I just had a couple of guys in the last 2 days killed some animals. We're in southeast Idaho. We're not very far from like Salt Lake City. One of these guys is in the Ogden area. Well, there's 3 guys. One guy's down in the Logan, Utah area, one in the Ogden area, one in the Salt Lake area. And we actually have another, he's already an existing customer, but wants more done, that's down in the Salt Lake area as well. So I got all those guys like on that list. And so we kind of monitor, and once we go, hey, we got enough guys on that list, it's worth a trip. I reach out to all of them and go, hey, we're thinking about coming down through the valley on Friday, and see if we can schedule it up. And that's tricky. That's the hardest part of what we do is the logistics. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why. Like, say I line those 4 or 5 guys up. This happens all the time. We'll get to a guy's house, and he starts watching the process and seeing how it works and seeing the files, and is like, hey, I got another one I want you to scan. I got another one. So you plan on one, and I've literally gone places we planned on scanning one, and we end up scanning like 5.
Yeah.
And then I'm just getting a hold of people going, hey, I'm going to be a little bit later. But as far as more traveling, Western Hunting Expo is a big one. We take the scanner to that. People can literally bring their animals if they want in, and we will scan them at the show. We have a lot of people do that, especially deer, like bighorn sheep, smaller size stuff. Elk and moose are a little hard to come pack into the show.
Big old Alaskan moose carrying that Western hunt. I don't know about that.
And it's crazy. We do other events like mule deer days in Wyoming. We had a guy bring a 72-inch Alaska moose and an argali into that show.
Wow.
To have a scan.
Yeah.
But a lot of this happens too, like the Western Hunt Expo is like 4 days in the Salt Lake area. We have a lot of people with bigger items that live near there that after the show, we'll run to their house and go scan their elk and deer. So a lot of shows, and then lists. Well, some lists just get big enough. Like we've been to Texas a couple of times. We had so many people on a list in Texas. We just up and did a route down through and caught a bunch of guys in Vegas and cut across Arizona and New Mexico, catching people along the way, and then hit San Antonio for like a couple of days, just scanning for 2 days straight and work our way home. So logistically, it just depends on how much interest. The ones that work the best, if you have interest in this and you get on our list, we have guys that do this all the time. They kind of take it into their own hands. They start throwing out on social media going, hey, we want the Baby Booner guys to come. We need to round up some people. A quick example, we had some guys in Oregon, 2 guys that wanted it. They rounded up enough people. They set up a whole get together where everybody brought their animals to a shop. They invited a Boone and Crockett scorer to come if you wanted to have it scored. They had a barbecue, and we showed up and scanned from morning until evening, and everybody hung out and ate and told hunting stories the whole day. It was absolutely awesome.
That's great. So do you have like your logistics person? Did they like come from the rock star world where they're touring musicians, scheduling them? Because I can imagine it's probably pretty similar. Just with
far from it, because that logistics guy is me. So I'm far from that world. It's tricky. It is way tricky. But we just kind of tell people, hey, if we have enough people, we'll come anywhere. We just need to have enough to be worth it. And that's why the ones that help line up events are the places we end up going the soonest.
Okay.
If guys are willing to round up their buddies, their friends, talk to their taxidermist. Taxidermists are great because we can show up to one building and scan a whole bunch of animals.
Yeah.
So,
how many? I'm sure it kind of depends on location in the country, just driving time and all that. But how many animals are you looking to scan before you start going somewhere?
Yeah, great question. It is tricky. A lot of it does depend on where we're going, because we have to consider, how many days of travel, if we fly, if we drive, what it costs to stay around there. So as people reach out, I'll do a little research, and it will vary. But a majority of the places we've gone, we're like, hey, round us up at least about 30 scans and we're good to go. And so if guys are hitting up their buddies and taxidermists, the local archery shop, it's usually, I can't tell you how many times you might have 10 guys rounded up, but you can easily have 30 scans between 10 guys if they're the right guys, right?
Yeah. You guys do, I don't think I've seen it. You guys don't do like waterfowl or turkey or anything like that, do you?
We will, yeah. It's we've done fish.
Okay.
Waterfowl are tricky. If there's like standing or sitting on the water, it's not bad at all. If wings are spread out, it starts to get really thin.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's the tricky part with spread wings. You get into things like turkeys and pheasants. The more difficult part there is the painting. Takes a lot longer to paint a pheasant or a turkey or even a fish for that matter, like a brown trout, than it does to paint a deer, like way longer.
I'm sure.
And these are all hand painted.
They are all hand painted. Wow.
Everything's hand painted. Our main painter, Trent, like he paints up all of this stuff, all the custom stuff. He and I and a couple other people, we paint all the danglers. If we have animals with velvet, I do the velvet work. I'll knock out some of those, but everything's hand painted. That's how we match it to your animal too.
Yeah, yeah. So you got your engineers, tour managers, and artists, and then also hardcore awesome hunters. Yeah, that's like full book and a full spectrum of skills in my book there.
I don't know. There's just three of us, and we just put on all those hats. So
yeah, that's great. It's cool stuff, man. Let's see. I had one question, forgot about that. Might jump back to that, but I did want to ask you. So we were kind of talking about it before. Well, actually, I should ask you: is there anything else you want to cover on Baby Booners before we kind of switch to the new business here?
Just if you have interest, get a hold of us. If you got questions, come ask. We're really easy to find through social media. Hit us up about getting on a list. We also have stock items. We have a lot of people that are like, man, I want to hang an antler from my rearview mirror, but I don't have one, that's big enough or whatever that I want to hang. We sell stock items on the website. We sell stock euros. We sell moose, deer, elk danglers, buffalo euros, you name it. So there's a lot of stock items there too. If you got kids, we do glow in the dark stuff.
I saw that. Yeah, the mountain lion skull. That's pretty.
Yeah,
sweet.
in fact, I just helped. I just got to help a 10-year-old girl get her first buck yesterday, and we gave her a buck a long time ago, like over a year and a half ago in glow in the dark. We scanned some stuff for her dad, and yesterday on the hill, she's like, I still got that sitting in my bedroom, So there's fun stuff for little kids too.
That's awesome. I remembered what I was going to ask you. Have you guys done any like the new all the talk about the elk that was killed up in Washington, half-inch short of world record? Have you guys done any world records of any species so far?
Yeah. That bull you're mentioning, Casey Brooks, is awesome. We're actually pretty good friends with his son Bo, and we've met Casey. But we've one of the coolest things about what we do, we get to see cool stuff.
Yeah.
We've scanned like the world record broder buck, mule deer buck. We've scanned like the world record muzzleloader mule deer. There's a lot of state record type stuff. It's fun, and I've learned not everything's in the record books either, right? Like there's big animals in people's homes that people don't know about. I've learned you don't know what's behind the wall. I've walked into single wides, double wides, you name it, and you have no idea what is inside of somebody's home. And there is some impressive stuff that people don't know about.
Just loaded.
Yeah, like I'll give you a quick story. We were coming back from Salt Lake City. We'd been scanning down through like Provo, Spanish Fork, and we're coming home up I-15 to head into Idaho. And my wife had got a hold of me. A gal she went to school with saw what we did on social media and said her husband had a deer he was interested in. Called the guy. It was like 9 at night, and he was in Idaho. And I'm like, we'd probably be to your place by 9:30 if you're willing to let us stop by on the way home. Childhood buck, that his dad killed when he was young. We show up at his house thinking we're just going to scan this deer real quick, head down into the basement. It's a 267-inch buck.
Wow.
Just sitting in his basement.
Just out
just
of
amazing.
nowhere. No forewarning or nothing.
So fun
Yeah.
for us. We get to see cool stuff, and while we're scanning, we get to hear cool stories.
Yeah.
Amazing stories. We've just been so busy. I've been going to start up a podcast literally just to get all these people that want to share their stories of these animals, because there's amazing stories that nobody ever hears.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure, and that's the cool stuff is the ones that don't get published in Outdoor Life or Western Hunter. Just the guys that getting after it, and especially I'm sure some of the ones that are still kicking from the 60s and 70s when mule deer bucks were still tankers. That's awesome. It's cool stuff.
It's skewed our perspective though of what big is like. Gosh, before this, you see a 200-inch buck and you're like, oh yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's a great buck. Blah blah blah. Now we see so many bucks and bulls that are just world class. It kind of screws up our heads a little bit about what a good buck and a good bull is.
Yeah, over the counter, not shooting anything under 200. That's new standard. That's funny. Yeah, well, anybody definitely go check out the website, Baby Booners. I mean, here, if you're in Grand Junction, I know you guys have come to Grand Junction a couple times. I guess one other thing, how long does it take to scan an animal? Like, how long would somebody plan on you guys being at their house?
Yeah, depends on the animal. There's a lot of variability there. Like, say we're scanning, like to go scan the actual head of like this whitetail when we did it, would probably take somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes to scan.
Oh, wow.
You start getting into an elk, like a great big elk that's a lot trickier, a lot more surface area. You're probably going to be like 35 minutes or so to scan an elk euro as well. So it does vary, but you're going to usually be somewhere between 15, 20 minutes up to, we've scanned full body mounts for people that, take well over an hour if it's a full body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Do you guys have you guys with the Baby Booners, not the thing that we're going to talk about here, do you have anything in the works just in terms of new products or anything like that you got coming down the pipe?
Yeah, there's always we just recently kind of released our new danglers. So our stock danglers, we just kind of changed how we made them. And without going into detail on that, they're just way better than what we used to make, like higher quality. Because of how we make them now, they paint up better, etc. And we do have those out right now already. And so for stock items, those are available. We have some stuff we've started doing over the last year for the right customers where we've been making large stuff. Like, for example, we did an axis deer shoulder to actually help raise some money for the flood victims down in Texas. And it was like 2 feet tall.
Okay.
So we can, and we do make some next level size stuff. We'll see how it goes, but we're doing a couple of full-size replicas for some folks now, like actual size. We don't really offer that yet, but we have a couple of special customers that we've done a lot of work for that we're doing a few of those right now, and we'll see if that's something we start to do more of or not. So stay tuned for that one, but they're pretty cool so far.
Sweet. Nice. So give me the rundown on the new business that you got coming out here, because you just mentioned it on the phone beforehand. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, we just turned the website on like 2 nights ago for it. So it's a business called Plink Pro.
Yep.
And I'll show you kind of how it goes. Is what we've done is this is your good old standard Daisy Red Ryder BB gun right here.
Yep.
Right? I mean, hopefully every kid has shot these. And is what we did is the one issue we found, like Johnny with his nephews, we saw this. Every kid when they're little, how do they shoot these? It's under It's under their arm because the stock is too big.
True. Yep. Yep.
And if they hold it in front, it's too front heavy, or they can't get up on it like they should, or they have it under their arm. And these kids are always shooting them wrong. And then they got to start to train. Dad's got to work with them, or mom work with them and teach them how to shoot right after they make bad habits. And so, what we did is we basically made a way to retrofit these. And this is a Plink Pro.
That's awesome.
This is a fully adjustable stock.
Yep.
So down to, a 5 or 6 year old, it fits them so they shoot correctly, all the way up to an adult and anywhere in between as they grow. The foregrip we've swapped out. This is a 3-sided Picatinny rail. So we got bipods that we sell. We got lasers. This is a laser light combo over here that hooks onto the side. We got lasers that'll hook. We got scopes. I don't got one here in front of me, but my favorites, we do the red dots.
That's crazy.
So we got a Picatinny rail across the top. You can hook your red dot on there, your miniature scopes. We sell all of that stuff. And now your kid's got a tactical, basically, Red Ryder.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool too, because I didn't even think about that. But yeah, like when you get one of those, or like a pellet gun or something like that when you're a kid, you're not shooting that thing correctly, and then it probably spawns some bad habits for people.
It does.
With that, you take it a step further and you're shooting off of a bipod, or you're putting your eye down the scope, getting actual training for hunting and shooting in the future. It's not something that you're building bad habits with. So yeah, that's cool, man.
I'm not gonna lie, these just aren't for kids.
That's the thing. Yeah,
we play with these. These are so fun to have, like, in your hunting camp. Whether you're throwing BBs at squirrels or birds, or you just get into competitions with your buddy trying to shoot something way out there. Because we all know how a Red Ryder is. Half the time you can see the BB fly through the air, right?
Yeah.
And that's part of what makes it fun. And so they're literally fun. We get these in the hands of adults, and they don't put them down.
Oh, yeah.
So they're fun.
One of the best sounds in shooting is shooting a BB gun or a pellet gun in a can and hearing that tink on there. It's awesome.
That's why we call it Plink Pro. It's literally that plinking, right? That sound off of the metal, and we want kids to experience that. And on top of it, gosh, I am grateful I grew up in an era where I had a BB gun in my hand and not an iPad.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's something we want to push with today's world too, is, hey, you guys your families are already kind of outdoorsy families and stuff, put one of these in your kids' hands. We found, like with the kids we've worked with on these in our families, they'd go out and plink around and shoot 20, 25 BBs somewhere and be back in the house. Now they go out with this and they'll go shoot 100, 200 BBs. Like, they get wrapped up in it. You got a laser on there that they're using. They shoot a ton.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're all about getting the kids out there. And if this is a way to help get the kids out there into the outdoors and get involved in some shooting, we're all for it.
Well, and you get to be more like Dad too. You got like an actual rifle.
Yeah.
Straight up looks like a hunting rifle. So all the, like, basically the I see, it looks like you have the little slot so it's basically a Red Ryder barrel and all that, where you drop the BBs in through that little slot there.
So literally the Red Ryder, we do 2 ways here. We do kits. So if you already have a Red Ryder, you can go to our Plink Pro site and just buy the kit and retrofit your own Red Ryder.
Okay. Yep.
So you literally take this stock off, put this one on. Take this foregrip off, put this one on, and then we sell the accessories. And then if you don't have a Red Ryder already, we sell a full build where you can just buy the gun, gray, green, or totally blacked out, pick the accessories we want, and we ship it to you. So this is a Red Ryder gun, just retrofitted with our components.
Okay. Are those 3D printed as well, the components there?
Yep.
Nice.
There's Johnny's engineering expertise. He's dialed that in. Made a lot of cool features out. It's been a little work in progress figuring out what works best and what's most functional, and it's pretty awesome.
So what does something like that run for full kit, everything?
So the gun without accessories that you pick with the gun and all of the setup on it, the stock and everything, just not a scope, etc., is $129. If you already have a Red Ryder, the kit itself is $79. And then we've made the accessories really cheap, like bipods, red dot scopes, etc., are around $24.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at a Red Ryder in a while, but I can't imagine it's probably not quite 100, but it's probably almost there.
Yeah, a lot of the kits, like we stopped at a sporting goods store when we were back east because we had some kits with us and everybody was buying them, so we threw some together and we stopped and bought a Red Ryder. You know, it was like 60 something bucks. Comes with a little can of BBs and some plastic safety glasses that break the first time you use them. But this is pretty fun. It makes it set up so you can have a good time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Those are two really very innovative ideas, and props to you guys for coming up with those. Love to see it. It's good stuff.
They're fun.
And it's made they're all made here in the States, right? I mean, everything's made right here. Yeah.
Yeah, right here in this building. So, yeah, we make it all right here, and you can. We just started social media for Plink Pro, so it's small, where we just rolled it out, and our website's plink-pro.com. Check it out. Website's awesome. It's laid out. You can go kind of basically build your own gun.
That's awesome.
And we'll send it to you. So
cool. What did you do before you were doing all this? And do you still have that day job? I can't imagine you do with all the travel.
You know, I'm a strange individual. I graduated college with a couple college degrees and started work as a project manager, program manager. I spent about 13 years between a couple of white collar corporations as a project manager, and I left all that after 13 years and actually became a door-to-door salesman.
Oh, wow.
I worked for Vivint, doing home security systems, smart homes, and loved it. This is a little bit of a side tangent for you, right? But it's best decision I ever made in my life. I got burned out in the corporate world, sitting in a cubicle farm. And part of the reason I went and did the work for Vivint, I would basically work about 5 months of the year, 6 days a week. And then I wouldn't work a single day. I'd usually go home from the summers in about August 24th. And I wouldn't work another single day until probably December. I went to a few meetings.
Yeah.
And then I'd work 1 to 2 weeks every month until April again.
Okay.
So I could hunt.
So you could get the initial prototypes for Baby Booners, right?
Yeah, and it was kind of a great lead up for me because I did that for quite a few years, and then I had a company hire me that was an LED light company in the heavy equipment world, and I managed the sales for the Western U.S. for them for 4 years, and then we got this stuff started up. So I do some hunt consulting for a company called Outdoors International. So if people are looking for certain hunts around the world, I can help them out with that. Then we have Plink Pro and Baby Booners, and then I do a lot of work through social media. I have companies that I do work for and stuff through social media, and kind of ditch that professional world and do a handful of different things now.
That's cool. So are you more of an elk guy? You more of a deer guy?
This is a great question. I have anybody that follows me on social media has seen this forever. I'm more of an elk guy. So that's my battle. Some of my great friends are all diehard mule deer guys, right? And I love mule deer. And so it depends on the question. I probably appreciate a big mule deer in my hands more than I do an elk. But I would rather hunt elk with my bow in the archery hunt than I would hunt deer anytime. The fun level is up here chasing elk for me. The fun level chasing deer is about down here for me, and until I find and actually get that big one right that day. So it's fun because I've killed some great deer. I've killed some amazing deer and chased some good ones, and I love it. But I had a deer tag out of state this year that took me 11 years to get the tag, and so I spent a lot of time. I can't tell you how much anxiety that caused me knowing that the elk were screaming back home and I wasn't chasing them.
Yeah,
It was brutal.
it is tough. That makes sense. I mean, there's nothing like chasing bugling bulls. I will say for me, like mule deer country, I just like where they live a lot more. I think part of it's because it's like you can usually see a little bit more. Like sometimes the elk woods can be like, especially if you're not seeing anything, it's just
Yeah.
one of those hunts. Can be almost like claustrophobic, and you're way in there. You're in steep blowdown and stuff like that. Whereas like mule deer, I feel like you know, there's nothing like being on a glassing knob the first week in November and just waiting for something to pop through that fresh snow. But I do feel that with the elk. I mean, there's nothing like having a bull bugling it, especially if you get to being like the triangle, the Bermuda Triangle of elk. It's pretty tough to beat, but
Yeah, you hit those frenzies and feel the sound waves bouncing off of you. The adrenaline flowing, especially archery. You're in there super close quarters. Um, it's awesome. Like, I think that's why I like it. It's the action instead of I'm sitting on this mule deer for the next 8 hours waiting for him to stand up.
yeah, yeah.
you know, so
Yeah, well, if you're more of an archery mule deer, I mean that can be some tough stuff too.
yep, it
But
is.
yeah, I always like to think that, and I've only taken a couple new people out on like an archery elk hunt just because I really enjoy taking my friends that have never hunted out and going through the whole process, getting them into it, letting them experience it, but I try to avoid taking them on like elk hunts to be as the first one, just because it's usually a little bit more physically demanding, and
Yeah.
there's always the chance that it's going to be one of those tough years where you don't hear anything bugling and stuff like that. But I always like to think that if you can be in a situation where you hear a far off bugle and then 15, 20 minutes later, whatever, you hear a bugle at 75, 100 yards, I like to think that if you experience that, you're hooked for life. I mean, there's nothing like that, especially in like the aspens or dark timber where it's kind of almost like muted, but you can feel all the trees, vibrating around you. It's amazing. So did you end up killing a nice mule deer on that trip there?
No, I did not. So I scouted and found a monster over the summer and decided he was my target. And good and bad. Because of that, I passed some big deer, some 185, 190 class bucks that I passed. I stalked one that I figured was in that 185 to 190 range the one day. I'd seen him 3 days in a row and just was like, man, he's in such an easy place to stalk. I'm just going to see if I can get on him, and didn't shoot him because the one I had found was pushing 40 inches bigger.
Wow.
So I stuck it out on him and decided I was going for him or broke, and that ended up being broke. So that's the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no qualms with it. I don't. I've had some friends be like, you wish you'd have shot one of those others now that the hunt's over and you didn't get that big guy. And I'm like, nope. I've killed plenty of big deer, and this one I was after would have been my biggest. So I had no qualms on holding out on him. He was an absolute stud. But I did slip away and come home. I ended up being able to hunt elk for a total of 29 hours in September, which is the least I've ever spent hunting elk. And it was good. I got a bull in that time. So
that's all you need.
Yeah. So I won't complain. I'd hunted elk 16 hours before that day that I killed him. And so I was glad to be able to get him. And then I still got deer tags and stuff. I've been hunting the last few days. I'm going hunting again tomorrow. So just not that same deer tag.
Yeah. Well, that is another benefit if you have a couple different states you can hunt, and you feel good about passing up on something like that. You're not going to go without a full freezer.
Yep, that's what the elk's for. That elk fills the freezer. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, sweet man. Well, I got one more question for you. This is always like the pop quiz I try to give people at the end of the podcast here. But last 2 years, um, one piece of gear that it could be anything from a water filter to a tripod to a pillow or something like that that you've used that since you found it is game changer. You don't leave home without it.
Yeah, that's almost a tough question because I think I got more than one. Uh, there's a few things, right? One that I am really, really hooked on is a holster for a handgun. So
Okay.
I run the Invader Concepts Recon chest holster, it's called. It
Okay.
straps to your chest. I love it because I can put my bino harness on over the top of it. And they designed theirs. I used to run some other chest holsters and they were okay. They were good, but these guys took it to the next level. And I can actually configure their holster to sit the direction I want.
Okay.
So if I got bino harness on top and I want it up out of this top corner, I can have it the corner. If I want it out the side, I can have it the side. And I love that. Like I spend quite a bit of time in the spring in bear country that has grizzlies in it.
Hmm.
That deer hunt I was just on last month was in grizzly country.
Yep.
And so I got a couple of those, and I rarely leave without that handgun. I've had a couple of situations. Um, Quick example: years ago, the first wolf that I ever killed, I was in grizzly country when I killed that wolf, and I had just started packing that wolf out. I had it hooked on a pack going out, and I literally walked by this big steaming pile of grizzly crap, and
Yeah.
your mind's kind of going. Well, a few minutes later, I come around a tree, big old brown blur right there, and it was a cow elk that I
Oh,
jumped. But
yeah.
because I just saw that bear scat, my mind was a going, and I'm like, I couldn't have got my rifle off and done anything, and I don't want a handgun that hooks to my backpack. So if I take my pack off, it's not on me. Just this
Yeah.
spring, I was hunting bears, and I was on a glassing knob, and my pack was off, my rifle's over here, and I literally had two. They're just black bears, but two bears came up over the hill, were right there at 50 yards. If something was weird, my gun's on my pack, I'm hosed. So that's been probably one of my favorite pieces of gear the last year that I
Yeah.
rarely, rarely go out without it.
That's a good one. I've seen the ads for those, and they look sweet. We're here in Colorado, which is where I do most of my hunting here in New Mexico. We don't really have to mess with those. But I have, I mean, we this last elk hunt I was on, there were just tons of moose up in there, and we had a couple situations. We had one situation we were chasing a bull, and we kind of were going through these thick willows and came up on the side of this creek, and there was a calf like 15 yards from us. And earlier that day, we had seen the mom and the calf in that kind of, they were probably 300 yards away, but we just weren't thinking. Busted through these willows, and I was like, man, that was kind of the first time I had thought, like, because here in Colorado, moose are the most dangerous thing. Just people
Yeah.
getting charged. I mean, you hear about it every year, and that was the first time I've thought about, like, all right, maybe that would be something to carry just when I'm in moose country like that. So that's a good piece of advice there.
Do it. It's funny you bring that up. I got chased by a moose years and years ago and actually pulled my gun, and all I did was shot it into the ground
Uh-huh.
to scare her. But
Yeah.
she had taken me 2 laps around some trees, and that's
Really?
my mind was going, dude, if I trip, I'm screwed.
Posed, yeah.
And so I mean, even for that, whether it's, and good heck, nowadays you probably need it for people half the time too. But yeah, I rarely do I ever go anywhere without it anymore. And so when I'm in the back country, I just want it where I can get to it.
Yeah. What's one more?
I love, I got a lot of things that I absolutely love, but I got some tripods that I use
Okay.
that I love. They are the Kanadi tripods by Muley Maniacs.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody knows those guys, but they make the best tripod on the market. I'd put them up against anybody's. Anybody's. Lifetime warranty on them. So like jack them up all you want, right? Good luck.
Yeah.
But they make some amazing tripods. I've hauled them all over from Alaska to Canada, everywhere I go. And I used to hate packing around a tripod, and these guys make wicked good tripods. Little miniature fluid head that goes on top of it, tough as nails. I take those suckers everywhere.
Yeah, that's a good one. Having a good tripod. One of the things that I've just enjoyed the crap out of, and there have been a couple companies that I've seen come out with them now, is Wiser Precision, company out of Washington. They specialize in ultralight stuff, but they make it's like essentially like a bino clamp, right? But it's made from Dyneema, and it's not like metal. It's got a couple straps that kind of go around one side, and it's got the Arca Swiss adapter on the bottom. But the cool thing is it has a hole in the bottom that you can throw the sharp end of your trekking pole in. So like if you just need a quick little, glassing, little stability.
Sure.
I feel like that. And we've had Drew Miles from Tricer on the podcast a few times. They make great tripods as well. Never heard of the Muley Maniac ones, but I feel like there's been some awesome innovations just making those things lighter, man. Because if you have a good tripod, it can be a game changer, especially for mule deer.
And there's a ton, like I have one of theirs is called the Red Line. You can unscrew the legs. I've literally unscrewed the legs and used them as trekking poles.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Where I packed a bunch of heavy weight in, or I'm packing a bear or something out, and all of a sudden it's heavy, and I didn't take trekking poles. In fact, sometimes I purposely don't take my trekking poles because you're just adding more and more weight, right? And I already got a tripod, and I can just unscrew those legs, and they're carbon fiber, they're lifetime warranted. Super lightweight. They really don't weigh any more than my trekking poles.
Yeah.
And I've used them plenty of times doing that.
That's sweet. Well, cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you jumping on. Anything else that you want to plug, or just tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, just for the Baby Booners side of stuff, social media, we're under Baby Booners is probably the easiest way to find us, especially on Instagram is where we seem to have the most traffic. Babybooners.com is the website, and with the Plink Pro, it's plink-pro.com there. And we just started social media with Plink Pro. Like, come give us a follow. You're going to see some more cool stuff come out on there. So we're just getting momentum with it. And if you ever want my personal page, Rusty Smith, but I got a weird handle. It's RTS_ Proverbs 21v19. That's Proverbs 21:19 is my favorite scripture. It says it's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. And
solid proverb.
Yeah, that's what it's after. Feel free to follow me on there. I try and push all of our, try and throw out any of our new products and stuff like that on my personal page too. It has a lot bigger reach than our business pages, so I throw our business stuff out on there as well.
Cool. Well, I'll drop all that stuff down here at the bottom, both in the info description here and on the video. So people go give them a follow. Rusty, thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.